So hopefully you've just played, if you've been following along with these tutorials, that our flag was still there. So the next part you're going to learn sounds like this. Oh, say does that star spangled banner yet wave. And we're just going to take that part. Wave. Played it a little weirdly at the end there, but that's the part we're going to learn right now, and the next tutorial we'll finish it off. All right, so what you need to know is that you're starting with F's in both hands, and you're using your 2 finger in both hands. Oh, say. All right, so the little pickup O is F's with your 2 fingers, and then you spread out to, in your left hand, B flats, and in your right hand, D and B flat, and you're going to play that basically 3 times on the beat, with a slight exception, which I'll show you in a second. Oh, say does that. All right, you notice that right at the end, that I added in this A, and that's what you got to do. You got to sort of walk down with your right hand with the 4 finger on this A. So you've got oh, say does that. All right, and that brings us to the next part, which sounds like this. Star. Now, I'm going to stop on star, even though it's like kind of abrupt stop. And I want to point out that I'm using my 1 finger and my 3 finger in the left hand on a B flat and an E flat. And in my right hand, I'm using a 1 finger and a 3 finger to play a E flat and a G. But I'm going to basically be playing this chord twice in a row next. So star, spangled, the star and the spang are the same exact chord. But in your right hand, I'm gonna ask you to switch from a fingering of 1 and 3 to a fingering of 1 and 2. And the reason I want you to do that is because it's gonna make your life easier. I know it's kind of hard to work, but it'll make your life easier moving forward. So let me watch my right hand really closely as I play through this part, and watch how I switch fingers here and how it leaves the rest of my fingers open for the rest, if that makes sense. All right, so oh, say does that star spangled banner, and on and on. But you'll notice that I was able to expand upwards here, which I'm going to really need to do in the next measure. So it's pretty imperative that you switch from your 3 and your 1 to your 2 and your 1. All right? So let me show you the next part. Oh, say does that star 3 and 1 spang 2 and 1 gold. All right, so gold, the end of this measure, think about the bottom hand just like expanding upwards half step. So the bottom goes down, I'm sorry, not upwards, but expanding out. So the bottom goes from this E flat to a D, and the top part goes from a B flat to a B. And the right hand, the E flat also goes down to a D, and the 2 finger on the right hand stays on that G. Star Spangled. It's this cool chord. It's one of my favorite chords of this song. All right, now a good way to remember banner yeah wave. This is the last line of the music. The last, let's see, 6 measures, and it's right at the bottom line of the music. So the way I remember is like you hit a C with your left hand, and this is completing here an E flat and a C on the top. So you get a lot of C's going on here. And the way you want to play that with your right hand is to use your thumb and your 4 finger on the E flat and the C, because the next chord, banner, is uses a G and an E flat. So you're going to need to be able to have some fingers ready to go. And so if you play this with your 1 and your 4 beforehand, your 2 and your 5 can then get this next part really easily. All right, so I showed you the next part. 1 and 4 on the E flat and the C. Banner is a G and an E flat, and then your pinky's gonna walk down to a D, and then you're going back to that first chord with the 4 and the 1. And your 3 finger is playing this B flat to sort of finish the walk down. Okay, hopefully that made some sense to somebody. In your left hand, I should mention the whole time, you're just playing on the beat C, so it's nice and easy. Okay, Now, in your right hand, the next part sounds like this. And that's all we're going to be learning for this tutorial. It's just a nice little resolve. So your left hand is playing an F and a D with your pinky and your thumb. Your right hand is playing an F and a B flat. Wave. And the one that's going on is the top parts of each hand. So the D in this hand and the B flat in this hand are walking down. So in this case, it's going from a D to a C. And in the right hand, it's going from B flat to an A. Alright, cool. So that's basically this tutorial. If you want to sort of see how I dress it up, I'll put a little dress-up trick on my website. And then into the end. So for some reason, I can't help myself in ornamenting that part. Wave. Whatever, it was like a little trill. Okay, so that's that section. Stay tuned for the very last piece. I'll get it out to you right after this one. All right? So that's the whole tutorial. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.